Now, earlier this week, Disney reported strong subscriber numbers for its Disney Plus streaming service. But analysts say it is not the competitive risk that it may appear to be for Netflix. Since Disney Plus debuted in November, Netflix shares have easily outperformed Disney. To discuss, we're joined by Samba TV head of TV Insights, Dallas Lawrence. Dallas, so we call this the streaming wars, but I'm wondering if it's not streaming versus streaming, but cable versus streaming.
Yeah, it's a great question. I don't think it's your traditional war in the sense that at the end of the day, there's not going to be only one winner. I think what's interesting are the actual battles that are shaping up. And what we're seeing shape up here is the content battle, the distribution battle, and the advertising battle. The distribution battle was the one that was on full display over the last couple of days, and we saw the numbers come out. We saw, for example, Disney just blow all expectations out of the water, 26.5 million subs in 2 months. As if to kind of spike the ball, Iger announced they added 500,000 new subs every week of 2020 since then, so their growth is going.
So Disney wins on the distribution battle?
I think so. What we saw in that same time period is that Netflix actually missed for the third quarter in a row in the United States. Now, they do have a good story internationally, but that's because they've had no competition. We're seeing Disney now accelerate international growth. They're going to move into India and Europe sooner than expected.
Now, the content battle, who wins that?
Well, I think if content is king, Disney owns the castle. And I think what we're seeing very clearly is that Netflix has some real headwinds in content. 7 out of 10 minutes spent on Netflix are spent watching licensed content, like Friends and Parks and Rec. All of that content will be leaving behind the paywalls of places like Peacock, NBC's new channel that's going to be launching, or Viacom. At the same time, you have new entrants like Quibi that's going to launch in the next couple of months with thousands of new shows. Literally 8,500 new shows are going to be coming out. Apple launching $2 billion in content, Disney. So Netflix has a real content challenge.
But on the content side, everyone says that original programming is what is so expensive. I mean, there's been estimates that Netflix spends $15, $20 billion, right, on that original programming. So having those old shows, like the licensing deals you've talked about with Netflix, like Disney, is that not better? Because then you don't have to spend on the original programming?
It has been for Netflix. That's been helpful to them. The challenge is those shows are leaving. They're being pulled back and pulled off the shows, off of Netflix's platform, to go behind the paywalls of NBC's new Peacock and Viacom's new combined Viacom CBS program they're offering. So they're going to have less and less access to that licensed content and have to rely more, to your point, on this incredibly expensive content. The real challenge for Netflix is, because they've created this binge-watching culture, is they basically have to have a Witcher or a Stranger Things every week because the average person watches the entire show in 5 days to keep up with the content. That's just not sustainable.
The third-pronged war that you talk about is advertising. Now, some of the concerns with Apple and Disney is their lower price. So your price for growth, not that margins or profit. You substitute that with advertising. Who's winning that war?
So I think the real thing to pay attention to is the consumer actually wants an advertising-based model. A majority of consumers say they want an ad-supported or AVOD-supported model. 70% of Hulu subscribers, for example, are advertising. So right now, I think you have 3 key leaders in the space. Roku has a strong advertising play. They're doing really well. I think Disney's playing this very smart. They have a bundle now, which is Disney, ESPN Plus, and Hulu that has an advertising supported model. The last entrants are the data players, those who are actually helping advertisers understand the ecosystem and how to enter advertising in the connected world.
You mentioned Hulu. My producers and I have been talking about this. There's been this shift to cutting cable and doing streaming, and yet some of us still miss that live TV experience. Yeah. Hulu has that live TV experience. Comcast has tied to Peacock, as we know. You have CBS All Access. You can still get some of your CBS channels. Who wins the live TV wars within the applications?
Yeah, I think there's 2 key leaders in that space right now. I think YouTube is actually doing really well. It's a fantastic program they're offering. I do think Hulu's in a very unique position. If you think about the bundle and go back to Disney's positional advantage and all the levers they can pull, already today in the United States, if you add up ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus, they have more subscribers than Netflix in the United States. That's from a company that we weren't even thinking about as being in the streaming space 24 months ago. So I think the positional advantage Hulu will have with the Disney content and the ESPN puts them in a strong position when it comes to the live TV play.
Dallas Lawrence of Samba TV, thanks for your insights.